The Ember's arrival. The observation deck of Station Meridian offered an unobstructed view of Earth below, a sapphire jewel suspended in the velvet darkness of space. Dr. Maya Chen pressed her palm against the reinforced glass, watching the approaching vessel with a mixture of wonder and unease. "They're early," said a voice behind her. Maya turned to find Captain Dane Volkov standing in the doorway, his uniform crisp despite the late hour. He had the bearing of someone who'd spent years in military service, but his hazel eyes held an intelligence that suggested he was more than just a soldier. "The Korvathi don't strike me as the punctual type," Maya replied, brushing a strand of black hair from her face. "They strike me as the calculated type." The alien vessel descended with eerie grace, its chitinous hull reflecting Station Meridian's external light in shifting patterns of bronze and green. Maya had studied every available image of Korvathi ships during the 3 weeks since first contact, but seeing one in person still sent a shiver down her spine. "You ready for this?" Dane asked, moving to stand beside her. "As ready as anyone can be for meeting an alien species that claims they want to gift us advanced technology." Maya's fingers drummed against the glass. "Nothing in the universe comes free, Captain." "Dane," he corrected softly. "If we're going to be working together on this, you should call me Dane." She glanced at him, noting the slight smile that softened his usually stern expression. "Maya, then." The docking procedure took 20 minutes. By the time Maya and Dane reached the reception bay, the diplomatic contingent had assembled, a nervous collection of Earth's finest wearing forced smiles and rehearsed greetings. The airlock hissed open, and the Korvathi emerged. Ambassador Krixvol stood nearly 7 feet tall, his exoskeleton gleaming under the station's lights. Multiple compound eyes shifted in different directions, while his mandibles clicked in a rhythm that Maya's translator earpiece rendered as formal greeting protocols. 2 other Korvathi flanked him, carrying sealed containers that hummed with barely contained energy. "Humanity," Krixvol's voice emerged from a translator device affixed to his thorax. "We bring gifts of friendship and protection. The galaxy is vast and dangerous. These devices will help you survive the darkness between stars." The formal speeches dragged on for hours. Maya found herself studying the Korvathi more than listening to the diplomatic pleasantries. Krixvol's mandibles moved in patterns that didn't quite match his translated words. His attendants shifted their weight in a way that suggested impatience, perhaps even contempt. During the state dinner that followed, an awkward affair where the Korvathi consumed nutrient paste while humans picked at synthesized protein, Maya leaned toward Dane. "Did you catch what he said about the power cores?" she whispered. Dane nodded slightly, his expression carefully neutral. "He called them adequate for your current developmental stage. Not advanced, adequate. And notice how he keeps emphasizing these are ancient relics from their military surplus. Why would they give us outdated technology if they truly wanted to help?" Their eyes met across the table, and something unspoken passed between them. A shared suspicion, a mutual determination to uncover the truth. In that moment, Maya realized they were thinking the same thing. The Korvathi were hiding something, and whatever it was, humanity needed to discover it before it was too late. Krixvol raised a ceremonial cup, his translator rendering his words in cheerful tones. "To new partnerships and humanity's protected place in the cosmic order." Maya raised her glass, but didn't drink. Beside her, Dane did the same. The game had begun, and humanity hadn't even realized they were players yet. The hidden flaw. The research facility on Luna Base 3 operated in absolute secrecy. Maya stood in the center of the sterile laboratory, surrounded by the Korvathi gifts that had been carefully transported from Station Meridian. Each device pulsed with alien energy, their surfaces marked with indecipherable symbols that seemed to shift when viewed directly. "This is incredible," breathed Priya Sharma, the team's lead engineer. She was a woman in her early 30s with quick hands and quicker intuition. Start with the shield generators. I want to know exactly how they work. Dane entered the lab carrying encrypted datapads, his presence immediately commanding attention from the security personnel stationed at the doors. Over the past week, he and Maya had fallen into an easy rhythm, professional by day, but sharing late-night conversations over coffee that stretched beyond work into something neither was quite ready to name. The Korvathi have sent 3 more technical advisors, Dane reported, tone dry. They're very eager to help us implement their technology. I bet they are, Maya muttered. She pulled up a holographic display showing the internal structure of a power core. They want to make sure we use it exactly as intended. The analysis took 3 days of continuous work. Maya barely slept, sustained by caffeine and a growing sense that something was fundamentally wrong with the Korvathi devices. Dane brought her meals, staying to discuss findings, their conversations drifting from technical specifications to personal histories. "You never told me why you left frontline duty," Maya said during one of these late sessions, her eyes tired but curious. Dane leaned against the lab table, close enough that she could feel his warmth in the cool laboratory air. "I realized I was better at seeing patterns than following orders. Strategy over tactics." He paused, his gaze holding hers. "What about you? Why xenotechnology instead of something safer?" "Because safe is boring," Maya replied with a slight smile. "And because someone needs to make sure humanity doesn't accept gifts without checking for strings attached." Smart woman. I have my moments. The breakthrough came on the 4th day. Priya called them both to her workstation, her face pale with shock. "I found it," she said, her voice shaking. "Look at the power coupling matrix." The holographic display showed a complex web of energy conduits, color-coded to indicate flow efficiency. But as Maya studied the pattern, her blood ran cold. "Those feedback nodes," she whispered, "they're not optimizations, they're limiters." Dane finished, his military training allowing him to see the tactical implications immediately. "Designed to fail under combat stress." Priya nodded, pulling up more data. "Every device has similar flaws. The shield generators have harmonic instabilities that would collapse under sustained fire. The weapons have overheating protocols that trigger far below their actual thermal tolerance. And look at this. The power cores are running at maybe 40% of their potential capacity." Maya felt anger rising in her chest. They sabotaged their own technology. "Not sabotaged," Dane corrected grimly. "Handicapped. They gave us weapons that would never be good enough to threaten them. Shields that would fail when we needed them the most." The 3 of them stood in silence, the weight of betrayal settling over the laboratory like a shroud. "What do we do?" Priya asked quietly. Maya straightened, her jaw set with determination. "We fix it. We take their deliberately flawed designs and we make them better. We show the Korvathi that humanity doesn't need their charity, we need their honesty." Dane moved closer, his hand finding hers in a gesture of solidarity that sent warmth through her despite the cold revelation. "The diplomatic corps won't approve this. Neither will Earth Defense Command. We'd be conducting unauthorized modifications of alien technology." "Then we don't tell them," Maya said firmly. "Not until we have results they can't ignore." "I'm in," Priya said immediately. Dane squeezed Maya's hand gently before releasing it. "You know I am too, but we'll need more people. People we can trust absolutely." Maya nodded, already making mental lists. "I know exactly who to call." That night, after assembling a core team of 12 researchers and engineers, Maya and Dane stood alone in the observation dome overlooking the lunar surface. Earth hung above them, a reminder of what they were fighting for. "This could end our careers," Dane said softly. "Or save our species," Maya replied. She turned to face him, finding his eyes in the dim light. "Thank you for believing me." "Always." and the one word carried weight beyond professional cooperation. Their fingers intertwined naturally, and for a moment the conspiracy and danger faded, leaving only two people who'd found something unexpected in the darkness of space: trust, partnership, and the first stirrings of something deeper. The breakthrough. 6 weeks of intensive research transformed Luna Base 3 into a crucible of human innovation. Maya had barely left the facility, sleeping in 4-hour shifts and dreaming in mathematical equations. The team worked with obsessive focus, driven by the knowledge that they were racing against Corvathi oversight and humanity's own ignorance. Young physicist Alex Torres made the first major breakthrough. At 26, he was the youngest member of the team, but his work on quantum field dynamics had caught Maya's attention years ago. Now, hunched over a prototype power core at 3 in the morning, he'd stumbled onto something remarkable. "Dr. Chen!" His voice cracked with excitement. "You need to see this." Maya rushed to his station, Dane following close behind. They'd become inseparable over the past weeks, their relationship evolving through stolen moments. A hand on her shoulder during stressful analysis, his jacket draped over her when she fell asleep at her workstation. Quiet conversations that revealed vulnerabilities neither usually shared. "What did you find?" Maya asked, leaning over the display. Alex's fingers flew across the holographic interface. "The Corvathi use a static containment field for their antimatter reactions. It works, but it's incredibly inefficient because it fights against the quantum fluctuations instead of working with them." "Show me," Dane said, his tactical mind already seeing implications. "Watch." Alex activated a simulation. "If we introduce a dynamic modulation pattern based on human plasma research, the field actually uses the quantum fluctuations to reinforce itself. It's like surfing a wave instead of building a wall against it." The numbers scrolled across the screen, and Maya felt her breath catch. "Alex, this is showing a 60% increase in energy efficiency." 63% to be precise, Alex corrected with a grin. "And that's conservative. We might be able to push it to 70 with refinement." Dane let out a low whistle. "Can you build it?" "Already started. Give me 3 days." Those 3 days were excruciating. Maya supervised every step while managing the rest of the team's projects. Priya had made stunning progress on the shield generators, discovering that human superconductor technology could replace the Corvathi's crude power distribution system, effectively doubling shield strength while reducing the generator size by 40%. On the second night, Maya found Dane in the observation dome again. It had become their sanctuary, a place where they could shed the weight of leadership and just be themselves. "Can sleep?" she asked, settling beside him on the bench. "Too much adrenaline," he admitted. "We're so close to something extraordinary, Maya. I can feel it." She leaned into him, and his arm came around her shoulders naturally, as if they'd been doing this for years instead of weeks. "Scared?" "Terrified," he said honestly. "What we're doing, if it works, we're changing humanity's position in the galaxy. If it fails, we've wasted crucial time and resources." "It won't fail," Maya said with quiet confidence. "I've checked Alex's math 17 times. Priya's simulations have run thousands of scenarios. This is real, Dane." He turned to look at her, his face close enough that she could see the flecks of gold in his hazel eyes. "When this is over, when we've proven humanity can stand on its own, would you want to have dinner? Real dinner, not lab rations at 3 a.m.? Maya smiled, her heart doing something complicated in her chest. "Are you asking me on a date, Captain Volkov?" "I'm asking the brilliant, infuriating, beautiful woman who's been driving me crazy for 2 months if she'd give me a chance to know her outside of alien conspiracies and military protocols." "Then yes," she whispered. "Definitely yes." He kissed her then, gentle and questioning, and she answered by pulling him closer. For a few precious moments, the weight of their mission faded, leaving only warmth and connection and the promise of something beyond the immediate crisis. The third day arrived with electric anticipation. The entire team gathered in the main laboratory as Alex and his engineering crew made final adjustments to the prototype power core. The device sat on a reinforced testing platform, its modified structure gleaming under the harsh lights. "All safeties are in place," Alex reported, though his hands shook slightly. "Power conduits connected, containment field generators online." Maya stood beside Dane, their fingers discreetly linked. "Do it," she said. Alex initiated the startup sequence. The power core hummed to life, its energy signature building rapidly. The displays showed power output climbing, past the original Corvathi specifications, past human theoretical maximums, into territory that shouldn't be possible with their current technology. "Containment field stable at 98% efficiency," Priya called out, monitoring the shield interactions. "Energy output at 160% of original design capacity. No fluctuations, no instabilities." The laboratory erupted in cheers. Team members hugged each other, some crying openly with relief and joy. They'd done it. Taken alien technology designed to keep humanity weak and transformed it into something that exceeded even the Corvathi's current capabilities. Maya turned to Dane, her eyes bright with triumph and unshed tears. He lifted her off her feet in an embrace that drew whistles from the team, neither of them caring about professional boundaries anymore. "We did it," she laughed against his shoulder. "Dane, we actually did it." "You did it," he corrected, setting her down but keeping his arms around her. "You saw what no one else could see and had the courage to act on it." "We did it together," Maya insisted. She looked around at her team, these brilliant, dedicated people who'd risked everything to give humanity a fighting chance. Alex approached with a datapad, still grinning. "Dr. Chen, we need to start Phase 2 immediately. If we can apply these principles to the weapon systems and shield generators—" "Do it immediately," Maya said immediately. "Take whoever you need. Priya, coordinate with Alex. I want full integration protocols designed within the week." As the team scattered to their new assignments, energized by success, Dane pulled Maya aside. "The Corvathi inspection is scheduled for next month. Once they see what we've done—" "Let them see it," Maya interrupted, her voice fierce. "Let them realize that humanity isn't some primitive species to be managed and contained. We're partners, or we're nothing." Dane smiled, proud and a little awestruck. "Remind me never to underestimate you." "Too late for that," she teased, then grew serious. "But Dane, this changes everything. The Corvathi might not respond well to being outmaneuvered." "Then we'll be ready," he promised. "Together." The Confrontation. Inspector Zixthar was a veteran of the Corvathi Compliance Bureau, known throughout the Empire for his ruthless efficiency in identifying technological violations. His compound eyes missed nothing, and his reputation had kept dozens of younger species in line for centuries. As his shuttle approached Luna Base 3, he reviewed the human facility's reports with the bored thoroughness of someone who'd conducted this inspection 1,000 times before. The humans would have made minor modifications, perhaps. They might have improved efficiency by a few percentage points. Primitive species often stumbled onto small optimizations through sheer luck. But nothing that would concern the Empire. Nothing that would challenge Corvathi's supremacy. He was wrong. The moment Zixthar's scanning equipment activated in the base's main laboratory, every alarm in his neural interface screamed warnings. The energy signatures were impossible. The power readings exceeded Corvathi military specifications by margins that shouldn't exist. "Explain this," he demanded, his translator failing to mask the sharp click of his mandibles. He pointed at the modified power core with one chitinous limb. "These readings are in violation of every protocol established by the Technology Sharing Accords." Maya stood her ground, flanked by Dane and Priya. Over the past month, they'd prepared for this confrontation. The Horizon, humanity's first truly advanced warship, floated in dock 200 kilometers above them, a secret they'd somehow kept from Corvathi's surveillance. "Inspector Zixthar," Maya said calmly, "we've made improvements to the technology you provided, as is our right under the modification clause of our agreement." "Improvements," Zixthar's voice rose to a shriek. "You've completely redesigned fundamental systems. The containment field architecture is unrecognizable. The power coupling matrix uses principles that shouldn't be—" He stopped abruptly, his multiple eyes widening in what might have been fear. "Shouldn't be possible?" Dane finished, his tone hard. "Or shouldn't be possible for humans to discover?" Zixthar's mandibles clicked rapidly. "You violated galactic law. This technology is beyond your authorized developmental tier. The consequences of what?" Maya interrupted, stepping forward. "Of discovering that the gifts you gave us were deliberately sabotaged? That every device contained built-in limitations designed to keep us dependent on Korvathi generosity?" The inspector's exoskeleton seemed to ripple with agitation. "You understand nothing of galactic politics. The technology was appropriately calibrated for your species' maturity level. It was 500 years old," Priya cut in, her voice sharp with controlled anger. "We analyzed the design philosophy, the material science, the engineering principles. Everything you gave us was outdated by half a millennium. You gave us junk and called it friendship." Zixthar's translator emitted a harsh static sound that might have been the Korvathi equivalent of nervous laughter. "Even if true, you've proven exactly why such precautions were necessary. Humanity is aggressive, unpredictable. You've weaponized civilian technology." "We've corrected flawed technology," Maya said firmly, "and we're prepared to demonstrate exactly what human innovation can achieve when we're not being deliberately held back." "Demonstration?" Zixthar's eyes swiveled in different directions, a sign of severe distress. "What demonstration?" Dane activated a holographic display showing the horizon in orbit. The warship was magnificent, sleek, and deadly, incorporating every advancement Maya's team had developed. "That demonstration, Inspector Zixtar. The horizon carries modified versions of every system you provided. Energy cores operating at 170% of your original specifications. Shield generators with triple the defensive capacity. Weapon systems that would make your current military vessels look like museum pieces." The color drained from Zixtar's exoskeleton, turning from bronze to a sickly pale green. "This is an act of war. The Korvathi Empire will respond with—" "With what?" Maya challenged. "Military action against a species you claimed to be helping? That would expose your deception to every civilization in the galaxy. Your reputation as benevolent mentors would be destroyed." Zixtar was silent for a long moment, his multiple eyes processing the implications. When he finally spoke, his voice carried a tremor. "You've outmaneuvered us. Humans were supposed to remain manageable." "We're not toys to be managed," Dane said coldly. "We're a species with the right to determine our own technological development. You tried to trap us in a gilded cage. We broke out." "The Empire's military capabilities still far exceed—" "For now," Maya interrupted. "We've gone from your 500-year-old cast-offs to exceeding your current technology in just 4 months. How long do you think it will take us to develop systems you haven't even imagined? 5 years? 10 years? The truth of her words hung in the air like a blade. Zixtar seemed to shrink, his imposing height suddenly inadequate. "What do you want?" "A real partnership," Maya said. "Not mentorship, not charity. Equal exchange of ideas and technology, mutual respect and honest cooperation. And if the Empire refuses, then humanity will forge its own path among the stars. We'll share what we've learned with other species you've helped over the centuries. I imagine they'll be very interested to learn about your deception." Zixtar's mandibles clicked in what might have been resignation. "I must report this to the High Command. They will not be pleased." "We're counting on it," Maya said. "Tell them humanity is ready to have adult conversations about galactic politics. The age of patronizing younger species is over, at least where we're concerned." As Zixtar turned to leave, his movement stiff with shock, he paused at the laboratory door. "You've changed everything," he said quietly. "The Empire's entire strategy towards emerging species. It's all built on the assumption that you would never see through the deception, never exceed our expectations. Then maybe it's time for a new strategy.
Priya suggested. One built on actual cooperation instead of manipulation. After the inspector's shuttle departed, Maya collapsed into a chair, adrenaline finally fading. Dane knelt beside her, taking her hand. That was either the bravest or most reckless thing I've ever witnessed, possibly both. We didn't have a choice, Maya replied, exhaustion evident in her voice. The truth was going to come out eventually. Better to control the narrative. The next few weeks are going to be difficult, Dane warned. The Korvathi won't accept this easily. There could be political consequences, military posturing. Maya squeezed his hand, drawing strength from his presence. Then we'll face it together. All of us. Priya approached with a datapad, her expression worried. Dr. Chen, we're picking up increased Korvathi military communications. Multiple ships are altering course toward Earth. Let them come, Maya said, standing with renewed determination. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity can do.
The new dawn. The horizon hung in orbit above Earth, a gleaming testament to human innovation. Every major government on the planet had representatives aboard, along with delegations from 17 different alien civilizations who'd heard whispers of humanity's technological breakthrough. The Korvathi had arrived with a battle group of 5 warships, an intimidating show of force that would have terrified Earth just months ago. Now, Maya watched them from the horizon's bridge with calm confidence. "All systems green," reported Lieutenant Chen, no relation to Maya. "Modified power cores at optimal efficiency, shield generators charged to full capacity, weapon systems ready, but not armed." Captain Elena Reeves, the Horizon's commanding officer, stood beside Maya and Dane. She was a veteran with steel-gray hair and eyes that had seen actual combat. "Dr. Chen, Captain Volkov, you're certain about this demonstration?" "Completely," Maya said. "The Korvathi need to understand we're not bluffing. The entire galaxy needs to see what humanity has achieved." Dane's hand found hers behind their backs, a gesture of support invisible to others on the bridge. Over the past month, their relationship had deepened beyond the crisis that brought them together. They'd talked about futures beyond laboratories and military protocols, about building something lasting when the dust settled. The communication channel crackled to life. "Human Vessel Horizon, this is High Commander Thalkar of the Korvathi Imperial Fleet. You are in violation of galactic technological development protocols. Power down your illegal modifications and prepare to be boarded." Maya took a breath and activated her own channel. "High Commander, this is Dr. Maya Chen of Earth. We have not violated any protocols. We have exercised our right to modify technology that was freely given to us. If you have concerns, we're happy to demonstrate the Horizon's capabilities in a controlled environment." There was a long pause. "Demonstrations are unnecessary. Your compliance is required." "With respect, Commander, we decline. Instead, we invite all assembled vessels to witness what human engineering can achieve when given the opportunity." Dane gave the signal. The Horizon began its demonstration sequence. The warship accelerated to speeds that shouldn't be possible with the original Korvathi engines. It executed maneuvers that violated every known principle of their propulsion systems. The shield generators powered up, creating a defensive barrier that sensor readings showed was impenetrable to standard Korvathi weapons. Then came the weapons test. Target drones released into space were eliminated with precision that made the Korvathi military technology look crude by comparison. On the bridge, Maya watched the sensor readings showing the Korvathi ship's response. Their weapon systems were powering up, a reflexive military response to feeling threatened. "Here we go," Dane muttered. "Elena, defensive posture only. Do not fire unless fired upon." "Understood," Captain Reeves replied calmly. But the shots never came.
Instead, another communication channel opened, this time with encryption protocols that indicated highest-level Korvathi authority. "Dr. Chen," said a new voice, older and weighted with authority. "This is Counselor Vexen of the Korvathi High Council. Your demonstration has been enlightening." "Thank you, Counselor," Maya replied diplomatically. "The Empire's approach to younger species has been predicated on certain assumptions. Your achievements have invalidated those assumptions." There was a pause. "We request formal negotiations to establish a new framework for human-Korvathi relations." Maya felt Dane squeeze her hand. This was the moment everything had been building toward. We would welcome honest negotiations based on mutual respect and transparent technology exchange. Agreed. However, the Empire must insist on one condition, which is that you share your modification techniques with the other species we have assisted over the centuries. It appears we have inadvertently held back the development of multiple civilizations. This must be corrected." Maya smiled, surprised by the genuine contrition in the Korvathi counselor's voice. "We would be honored to help, Counselor. Humanity believes all species should have the opportunity to reach their full potential." The negotiations lasted 3 weeks. Maya, Dane, and Priya found themselves at the center of a diplomatic revolution that was reshaping galactic politics. The Korvathi formally apologized for their deception and opened their archives, sharing technology that was genuinely advanced rather than deliberately outdated. Other species who'd been helped by the Korvathi contacted Earth, eager to learn the modification techniques that had allowed humanity to leapfrog centuries of development. Maya's team trained delegations from a dozen worlds, sharing knowledge freely and building alliances based on honesty rather than manipulation. 2 months after the Horizons demonstration, Maya and Dane stood in the observation dome of Luna Base 3, the place where their partnership had begun and where their relationship had blossomed. Earth Defense Command has approved the Horizon-class production program. 5 more ships in the next 2 years. They want you to oversee the entire project. "And they've offered you command of the fleet," Maya replied. "I heard." "I turned it down," Dane said casually. "Told them I'd rather work as special liaison to your research division. If you'll have me." Maya turned to face him, her heart full. "Dane Volkov, are you choosing science over military glory?" "I'm choosing you," he corrected. "The science is just a bonus." She kissed him then, not caring that they were technically in a professional facility where other researchers might see. When they finally broke apart, both smiling, Maya rested her forehead against his. "We changed the world," she whispered. "Multiple worlds, actually." "You changed the world," Dane corrected. "I just had the good sense to trust you." "We did it together," Maya insisted, echoing her words from weeks ago. "The team, you, me, all of us refusing to accept limitations others tried to impose." Below them, Earth rotated peacefully. Above them, the stars beckoned with new promise. Humanity had proven itself capable of standing among the galactic civilizations, not through military might or aggressive expansion, but through innovation, determination, and the courage to question deception disguised as generosity. The Korvathi had given humanity a gilded cage. Humanity had transformed it into wings. And now, together with allies old and new, they were learning to fly. The end.